Hello, Pisces. It's Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to do your September general reading. We're going to be talking about some deep stuff, okay? The readings are going to get deeper, and those of you who are able to follow are going to stick with me. And those of you who are not quite ready to understand what I'm going to be teaching through your tarot readings will likely, stage left and find somebody that is likely more on your vibration in terms of what you're ready to learn, or maybe what you've already learned. Whatever the case, I'm going to teach you guys how to manifest, and I'm going to let you guys know that tonight with this full moon, I recommend that you set your intentions on what it is that you want in your life. Okay? So what I'd like to do is just do your general reading like I normally would. I'm going to pull your oracle cards, and then we're going to talk. Focus and self-discipline. Okay? Focus and self-discipline. See this black and white sphinx? I want you to look at that as duality and polarization. Okay? And it's just so funny that that is a part of your oracle cards. Okay? Let me pull it so you can see. Okay, Pisces. The Two of Air talks about polarization and how we create. Look at this picture really good. See? This black and white image. And in the middle, he's creating something. The creation is being represented by the pearls that you see in the middle. And you also see that the scales are balanced below. Okay? Now, there are two parts to how you manifest. And I've done a lot of research, and I found that missing link, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I know a lot of you are ready. I'm going to give you the example of the magnet. There would be no magnet if there weren't a positive and a negative ion that created a magnet. You have to put the two together to create something completely different. I'll say that again. So we have a positive ion that by itself is just a positive ion. You have a negative ion that just by itself is just a negative ion. But when you put them together, it creates a magnet. Follow me now. This is telling you, look at this white part right here as the part of yourself that you identify with the most, which is the ego. Okay? That's a part of ourself that is necessary. It is our flesh. It's our body. It's what sets us apart from each other in the world. It's necessary. And let's look at this darker part as our higher self, our subconscious. The part that is less familiar to us. The part of us that is a little darker that we have yet to really understand fully, right? With this new moon tonight on the 23rd of August, I would like for many of you, or all of you, to set the intention that you will be able to communicate that your body and your consciousness can communicate with your subconscious just like me and you are talking right now. You know what that will create? It will create your ability to make choices. Pulled choice. You are the result of all the choices that you've ever made and the people around you have made. Our choices. So when you look at this card right here in the middle with this duality, this is polarization, teaching you how to create what you want in your life. This is going to come with focus and self-discipline. This is not like a book that you can just sit and read like 4 lines, put back on the shelf, and then come back to it like a year later. No, be focused and self-disciplined on learning how to create. Because I'm telling you, whatever's going on within you is what you're going to be seeing on the outside. If you want to change your external factors, then you're going to have to change your internal factors, okay? That's the number one key, so that you know how to respond to negative instances in your life. You react positively to what's going on negatively in your life, and then you will be able to create the outcome that you want. And it's through choice. Everything boils down to choice. And once you get this down, not only will you be able to counsel yourself, the counselor means just that, the counselor. Not only will you be able to counsel yourself, you'll be able to counsel others. And that is your work. So, focus and self-discipline, all right, with regards to the way that we create and change our realities. Tonight is the night that you set your intentions on what it is that you want to see changed in your life. First, it comes from within. It sounds so cliche, but once you learn how to do it, baby, I'll tell you, it's a game changer. Be focused and self-disciplined on learning this, because I'm telling you, it'll make all the difference in the world. Set your intentions tonight with this full moon on August 23rd that you will be able to communicate with your higher self in such a way to where you always know how to respond positively to the negative aspects that are going on outside of you. When you're able to do that, then you are going to be able to create a different reality for yourself. Okay? So Pisces, you have to go within in order to change what's going on the outside. Okay? And for a lot of you, it's going to come with walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. Why? Because whatever energy the other person that you're with has the potential to make you want to neutralize things. You're either going to respond negatively or positively to whatever they're bringing to the table. What is -5 plus -5? It's -10. It creates more of a negative experience. So then you're constantly, if some of you are in relationships that you know are not serving you, you are constantly either responding negatively to their negativity, or you're either trying to respond positively to their negativity, which is only creating something neutral, because you don't quite have a good understanding of yourself and what that positive move on your behalf has to be in order to change your external factors. Okay? You have to go within first in order to understand how to respond to negative situations, negative relationships. I don't care if it's with a coworker, a boyfriend or girlfriend, whomever, doesn't matter. When you're babysitting relationships that do not serve you, I'm telling you right now, you are not spending enough time with yourself so that you can start to change your external factors by managing your internal factors. I'm telling you, that card, the Two of Air, with that person with the black and white, I'm telling you, that is a perfect example. I mean, that card was perfect for tonight. You guys are ready to create. For a lot of you, it's going to result in financial, independence to the degree where you are so financially stable. Not only are you financially stable, you will know how to manage your money. For some of you, it's going to require that you go back into your past and that you start to wonder, what rules have I put on myself in the past that are making me so rigid toward change? Because I know that a lot of you have heard the expression, if nothing changes, right? You have to change yourself within in order to change your external factors. Okay? Because you are a reflection of what's going on outside, and what's going on outside of you is a reflection of where you are within. The more rules that you impose on yourself, okay, based on the rules that you've imposed on yourself in the past, this means in the past, okay, the rules that you've imposed on yourself will make you more rigid toward change. Because you're saying, no, everything has to be like this. And when you say that, then your higher self adheres to your command. So then become more general and say, you know what? I'm gonna consider things that may be fact, may be fiction. Here's a good exercise for some of you. Go watch some videos on time travel. That's a controversial issue, isn't it? But if you consider that just because you haven't experienced time travel, if you consider that even though you haven't experienced time travel, it really may be. If you start to broaden your horizons and stop putting rules on what may be real and what may not, then maybe you'll be able to start seeing what's really real and what's really not. This represents news of work for many of you. Now, when you get the combination of these two, that just means a continuous flow of income. Some of you are not seeing the full picture yet. Some of what I'm talking about is just complete, like, whoa, her readings have changed. What is this about? Oh my, oh me. Some of you are not seeing the full picture. And that's okay. You don't have to see the full picture. All you have to do is setting your intent on being able to see the full picture. Set that intention tonight. Because you know what's going to happen when you do that? The intention is actually going to come about. It's going to come to fruition. And then you're going to know what needs to die so that new things in your life can live. What parts of you need to be deprogrammed and restructured so that new things can be a part of your external factors, because you've become a new person, because you let things die that don't belong. You attended the funeral, you went through the motions, and now you're learning through your experiences. Yes, I didn't say this was going to be easy. I didn't say that it wasn't going to come with some discomfort. That's a part of the learning process and the journey that you're on. And that's okay. But please understand that feeling sad is also a choice. Feeling sad is a choice. And yes, it's a part of the human experience. Sadness teaches us a lot. But sometimes you need to rejoice when you get rid of baggage and people that come with all kinds of baggage that you don't need. Because when you're in relationships with people that come with a whole bunch of baggage, you know what happens? You then become receptive to their energy. Okay? Wherever you put your energy, that's where all of your energy and all of your intention and all of your that's what you're going to manifest. Wherever all of your attention goes. So if all of your attention is going toward this unhealthy relationship that you need to drop, like a bad habit, you're going to be spending all your time either trying to neutralize this person's negativity by responding positively. When this person's responding negatively, you're just going to create either something neutral, or you're going to get to know your higher self in a way to a place where you know exactly how to respond positively to create something specific. Don't be defensive toward change, because a lot of you are going through the motions. A lot of you are getting ready to change. And I want you to look at these sticks that are coming against you as all of the rules that you have imposed on yourself in the past. This means nostalgia or little white lies. In this particular case, it means in the past. In the past, you have given yourself this rule, that rule, this rule, that rule, that rule, this rule, and you're like being defensive. And you're saying, don't be defensive against change. There's a lot of positive changes actually that are trying to come toward you. Don't be defensive toward that. Be defensive toward all those rules that you've placed on yourself that keep you in a very rigid place where you're not able to be flexible with what the universe is trying to do with you. The universe is working with you, I promise, but a lot of you may not be able to identify that if you're being defensive against change. Some of you really want to see differences in your life, and the only way to do that is to create a difference within yourself. That's why this Hermit card popped up. Look at yourself and ask yourself, for example, with this new moon tonight on August 23rd, what kind of questions are you asking? Are you saying, when am I going to be able to kiss my boyfriend, my first boyfriend? If you ask those type of questions, I want you to listen to yourself with regards to the things you're asking for. Are they really going to change your life drastically? Or are you talking about, asking for, and I'm not saying that what you're asking for may not be important to you in this moment. I'm just saying in this moment, the energy is so ripe toward us creating a different reality for ourselves that's more positive and that actually comes with abundance, that comes with happiness, that comes with feeling content, that actually brings people to us that we can trust, love, and respect, because that's how we feel about ourselves. When we love, trust, and respect ourselves, then we attract people who also love, trust, and respect ourselves. And not only that, it will generate their love, trust, and respect toward you. A lot of you have graduated recently when it comes to love, okay? A lot of you know how to love people despite their problems. And that's a gift, because a lot of people will dip in a minute as soon as they see some problems in a person. Okay? But those of you who actually know how to hang in there and stick with people understand that love comes with a double-edged sword at times. All right? And having this ability to love. The Queen of Cups means you're kind of getting up there with regards to really knowing how to love people without judging them for whatever crap they're coming with, right? And that's why I say it comes with a double-edged sword. Love is so necessary in life. It makes us feel fulfilled. However, when we get to this maturity in love, what happens sometimes is we love people that have all these negative attributes, okay? And then what happens is you're spending all of your time neutralizing what's going on with this person, or either creating more negatives, which then start to perpetuate more rules in your mind, makes you more rigid in the future. I'm telling you, be wise when it comes to love and who you pick as a partner. If you are a spiritual person that's actually really seeking to figure out how to be able to create the life that you want, and try to find somebody. Matter of fact, not even try to find somebody. You're going to attract somebody that thinks just like you, that is actually going to be supportive of your spiritual growth and be supportive of where you're going. You're both going to get there together because you both share the same objectives. That's what you need, okay? For those of you in relationships, right? Be with somebody who knows more than you, that actually has something to actually contribute toward you, that understands things of the spirit that you're trying to understand. Why would you get in a relationship with somebody who only understands things in 3D, who only understands, the flesh? And Prada and Louis Vuitton and diamonds and pearls and doing everything that, satisfies the flesh. It's necessary for your flesh to be satisfied and cared for, but it's also very necessary for your subconscious or your higher self to be satisfied and cared for as well. And because we are not as familiar with our higher selves as we are our ego or our physical part of ourself, what happens is we make decisions based on what we've experienced. And anything outside of that, we really don't understand. For many of you, you guys have ended things and it perpetuated your new beginnings. And I'm telling you right now, that's where it's at. I know a lot of you can taste your new beginnings. I know a lot of you can taste this. You guys have been working on this already. You know, a lot of you have been working on this already. Some things are already starting to come to fruition for a lot of you. In terms of understanding, in terms of you actually seeing the changes in your life that you want to see, this card means that something has to end in order for something to begin. And what needs to end is us only spending time with our conscious thoughts and not sitting quietly and listening to what it is that we're really asking for and what we really want. Some of you got that. Good. I'm trying my hardest to explain things that are very simple, but we make it complicated. And it can be complicated because it is a subconscious concept. And again, we haven't spent much time with our subconscious because it's not easily identifiable to us, because we're able to identify with what actually happens in the flesh more. Now you're being publicly praised because some of you really got this reading. Good for you, because you know what? It's time and all of you deserve it. Now, don't backstab yourself. Okay? The way you communicate with yourself, the swords represent thought. Don't backstab yourself by telling yourself that you can't do this and that you can't do that. Don't run your own name through the mud in your own mind. Don't sit there and play the blame game for any mistakes that you've ever made in the past. If you call them mistakes, I call them steps toward our journey, steps in our journey. There are no mistakes. There are learning experiences. Don't backstab yourself by communicating with yourself in a way that is very negative. Because if you're communicating with yourself in a way that's negative, you know what's going to happen? You're not going to know how to respond to the negative things that are going on the outside, and you'll further perpetuate it. Because that's what's going on the inside. When it comes to love, don't be immature, okay? Love yourself. I'm telling you, be just as loving toward yourself as you are toward others. Because some of you are like the King of Cups when it comes to loving others, right? Like the King of Cups. You know how to love people despite whatever they got going on. And you stay in relationships that are unhealthy forever. But then when it comes to loving yourself, this is where you are. It's like you don't know how to love yourself. It's like you're just now learning. And if that's the case, that's okay. There's a starting point everywhere, in any completion, in any cycle. Don't talk to yourself negatively. Don't beat yourself down. Okay? We're not talking about, you notice this reading is a little different, and that we're not talking about what's going on in your particular life. If you really think about it, how would I be able to do that? How would I be able, for all of you watching this, how would I be able to say, you're going through this, you're going through this, you're going through that, you're going through this? Well, let me just make it more general. Let's talk about you. This you all can relate to. I can relate to. We can all relate to this reading. Be precise in your thinking, okay? With regard to, because there's this little gray area that creates a little confusion sometimes, okay? This means thinking precisely, being mature with regards to your scruples, and being smart. You understand what I'm saying? Intellectually. So when I see this card, given what we're talking about, this means, yes, you have to set boundaries with people. And you do have to have a set of rules with regards to intimate relationships. That part is true. Matter of fact, in any relationship, there are boundaries, right? But make sure that the rules that you impose are pretty brief, and that there's not this long list of rules that you've imposed. Because the more rules that you've placed on yourself, the more restructuring has to be done in order for you to be able to create your own reality, the reality that you would like to see. So when I say this is likely the more, so to speak, difficult part to understand. First, we have to have a good relationship with ourselves. And yes, that comes with setting boundaries in relationships. However, don't impose any rules on yourself with regards to what is possible for you. Okay? And if you don't do that, I promise you, a lot of you can look forward to a lot of financial stability and creating the wealth in your life that you want to see. And this does not just mean money. This means abundance in every form. So with what you've just learned, you now know that you are a limitless being. You are a limitless person with limitless options with regards to what you can achieve in your life. The only person who tells you that you can't do something is you. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Make the choices that allow you to be more flexible with regards to the way you communicate with yourself. For those of you who this resonated with and you want to get deeper into understanding how to create, and for those of you who want to talk about what's going on in your personal life, go take a look at my website. I will embed my services in my website, and you'll be able to see the services that I provide. And we can get deeper into your personal story so that I can counsel you on what's going on with you so that you can start to make the changes in your life that you want to make. All I do is lay out what's going on before you, whether they be opportunities or situations, and then you get to pick and choose what you want to grab hold of and what you need to throw away. So for those of you who this resonated with, I ask that you hit like and subscribe and leave your comments. Tonight there's a full moon. Set your intentions on what it is that you want in your life. And one of those intentions should be that you be able to communicate with your higher self so that you know what positive responses to give in negative situations to create a new something for yourself, whatever it may be. With that said, my Pisces, I love you guys dearly, and I know that a lot of you got this. I ask that you hit like and subscribe, support the channel so that I can continue to do what I do, because it's for you. Namaste.